It all began on a bright morning in their village, Umuaro. Under the ancient Iroko tree, Nnaemeka and Obinna, dressed in vibrant Isegu tops and wrapped in Ukora cloth, sat cross-legged, faces beaming as they prepared to share a kola nut, a symbol of eternal friendship. The elders gathered around, nodding in approval. As Nnaemeka split the kola nut and handed half to Obinna, he made a vow, "My friend, this kola nut is our bond. What's mine is yours, and what's yours is mine." But little did they know, this friendship would soon be tested. One day, while helping Obinna carry yams back to his family compound, Nnaemeka's heart did a somersault. There she was, Obinna's sister, Chinyere, with the grace of a gazelle and eyes that sparkled like morning dew. Nnaemeka's heart raced faster than an antelope escaping a hunter. And just like that, the unthinkable happened. He was smitten by her beauty. For weeks, Nnaemeka found his thoughts consumed by Chinyere. Every time he saw her, his heart would skip a beat. Her laughter echoed in his mind long after she was out of sight. He couldn't explain it, but there was something about her that captivated him, the way she carried herself with quiet strength, the way her smile lit up even the darkest corners of the village. He had to see her again, to hear that laugh, to gaze into those eyes. At first, it was subtle. He started visiting Obinna's home more frequently, offering to help with chores that had never been his responsibility before, repairing fences, hauling water, and even sorting through the family's yams. All the while, he made small talk with Obinna, his voice casual, his heart beating wildly. But whenever Chinyere was around, Nnaemeka found himself tongue-tied, his words tripping over each other. "Good morning, Chinyere," he would say, offering a shy smile, his hands fidgeting as if they didn't belong to him. "Good morning, Nnaemeka," she would reply, her voice warm and inviting, though she had no idea the storm brewing inside him. One eventful day, while returning from the yam fields with Obinna, Nnaemeka lingered behind under the pretense of tying his wrapper. Chinyere passed by, balancing a pot of water on her head. He called out to her softly. She hesitated but turned, her eyes meeting his. "Chinyere," he said, his voice barely above a whisper. "I don't know if the stars above are as bright as your smile, but I've been enchanted by you from the moment I saw you." Her breath caught, and for a moment, she stood there, unsure of what to say. But the sincerity in his eyes melted her hesitation. She smiled shyly before hurrying away. After that, their meetings became intentional. Nnaemeka would wait by the riverbank in the evenings, where Chinyere came to fetch water. At first, their exchanges were guarded, but as trust grew, so did their bond. He spoke of his dreams, of building a home filled with laughter and love. She listened, her heart swelling with a mixture of joy and fear. With each passing day, their interactions grew bolder. Apart from waiting in the evening, Nnaemeka found himself waiting by the well in the morning as well, hoping Chinyere would pass by with her basket. And when she did, they would exchange pleasantries that lingered longer than necessary. Nnaemeka's heart would race each time her fingers brushed against his as they passed the water jug or shared the weight of a basket. One afternoon, after a particularly long day of working on Obinna's farm, Nnaemeka stayed behind as the others left, making an excuse about needing to finish some work. He knew that Chinyere often stayed behind to wash dishes or sweep the compound. As he lingered, pretending to tidy up the yard, he finally saw his chance. "Chinyere, I have a question for you," he said, his voice barely above a whisper. She turned, her eyes meeting his with that same brightness that made his heart flutter. "What is it, Nnaemeka?" Do you ever wonder about the world beyond Umuaro? The things people don't talk about, he asked, trying to sound casual, though his voice betrayed his nervousness. Chinyere smiled softly, tilting her head. I think about it sometimes. There's a whole world out there beyond the river and the mountains. But, like everyone here, I wonder if it's really worth it. Maybe we belong here, in Umuaro, where everything is known. Her words hung in the air, but Nnaemeka felt something stir inside him, a connection, a bond beyond the simple conversation. From that day on, they found more and more excuses to meet, often under the cover of darkness, hidden away by the quiet riverbank. The moonlight was their only witness as they whispered their dreams, their desires, and their fears. Each meeting felt like an adventure, a secret they both cherished but knew could never be kept forever. They spoke of faraway places, of freedom, and of a love that bloomed in the shadows. Nnaemeka would sneak glances at Chinyere's face, her features softened in the moonlight, and he knew, deep down, he was falling for her in ways he could not explain. Nnaemeka and Chinyere continued meeting in secret, hiding from Obinna and the whole village. Under the light of the moon, by the river, they'd whisper sweet nothings and share dreams of a future together. But the secret was dangerous. Secrets never stay buried for long in Umuaro. The village was small, and gossip spread like wildfire. Soon, the hushed whispers of their secret meetings began to stir in the wind. But it was too late for Nnaemeka and Chinyere. Their hearts were already entwined, caught in the tangled web of love and desire that could never be undone. Then, one day Obinna went back to the field to look for his missing hoe. To his dismay, he caught sight of his best friend and his sister holding hands. He was heartbroken and furious. How could Nnaemeka, his brother by the kola nut, betray him? Obinna confronted Nnaemeka that very evening. You broke the bond of the kola nut, he shouted, his voice filled with betrayal. But Nnaemeka, torn between his love for Chinyere and loyalty to Obinna, was speechless. To mend the broken trust, Nnaemeka approached Obinna with humility and remorse. Kneeling before him, he said, Obinna, my friend, I am sorry. I would rather lose 1,000 loves than break my bond with you. Obinna, finally seeing the honesty in Nnaemeka's eyes, softened just a little. On learning this, Chinyere wasn't going to stand by silently. Determined to defend her love, she confronted her brother, hands on her hips and eyes blazing. Brother, you have no right to choose who I love, she declared. Obinna, stunned, stammered, unsure of how to respond to his fiery sister. In the end, the village elders intervened. They reminded Obinna of the kola nut's purpose, unity and forgiveness. After much debate, the elders blessed Nnaemeka and Chinyere's union, and Obinna, though still hurt, gave his blessing, albeit reluctantly. With forgiveness finally granted, the village burst into celebration. Drummers played, children danced, and elders nodded in approval. Nnaemeka and Obinna laughed together once more, and even Chinyere joined in, her laughter ringing through the air like bells. Under the iroko tree, the friends and family reunited, stronger than ever. And so, the kola nut brought them back together, sealing their bond once more. They learned that while love and loyalty may clash, forgiveness is the strongest tie of all.